I came to the University of Houston, there were only about 6 permanent buildings on campus. Now when I go out on campus, I get lost. My mother wanted me to be a dentist, so I just thought I was going to be a dentist like my dad. And actually, when I went to the University of Houston, I majored in pre-dentistry and biology. But I also had a half scholarship to play baseball. What happened was my second year, when I had to go into the comparative anatomy classes and cut up the cats and do all of the biology courses, they were in the afternoon and I could not work out for baseball. I just didn't get enough practice time. Plus I didn't like cutting up cats, and I always enjoyed watching other broadcasters come on campus, and I said, I think that's what I really want to do. And at just about that same time, the draft was instituted because of the Vietnam War. What I did was go on in the Air Force before I could come back and graduate. The 60s that was an interesting time to live and grow up in. They say if you remember the 60s, you didn't live the 60s. And I lived them pretty well. So my memories are vague at times. Well, I've worked at Channel 2, I've worked at HSE, I've worked Rockets basketball starting in 1980, and at that time it was on Channel 39. Then the Rockets were on Channel 20, so I worked on Channel 20. And then I did the games for Fox, which is what HSE morphed into. So I've been on every station that's ever been invented. And it's funny, when I started with the Rockets, I was about the age of the players. And so, you know, we would just hang out together all the time. And then as it moved into the 80s and into the 90s, it was almost like I was doing games for my kids. And now I'm doing basketball games for people born in the 90s, and it's like I'm doing basketball for my grandkids, for goodness sakes. So I think if it moves any further than that, I'm going to have to hang them up. If I were to tell a young person to come to the U of H and look at all the possibilities out on campus, it's just enormous. The chances not only to get a great education, but to be in a great environment like the city of Houston, a dynamic city with all of the culture. So it's just a tremendous opportunity to come to a university that is also in the 4th largest city in the United States.